Hi, welcome to Elevate Each Other. We're a Colorado-born podcast created to amplify the voices that often go unheard. Hosted by myself, Freddie Martinez. I'm a small-town native turned community advocate. So this show isn't about fame or flash. It's about connection, it's about heart, and it's about you. And today I have the pleasure of being able to meet with Felicia Beltran of ENRG Realty. Felicia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And really appreciate
Big
that.
ENRG Realty, that's where we're at.
Boy. And I just asked you, ENRG.
Right. So that stands for our founder, Erin Noble Real Estate Group. So Erin is the founder, and she was a longtime realtor. Her and her husband, they decided to open their own brokerage. It's a national boutique brokerage, and I'm really proud to be the Colorado designated broker. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, Felicia, there's so much to learn about you. And, I just appreciate you taking the time to speak with us and to speak with everyone out there so they can learn about you and what you do. And I understand, and for the longest time, I thought you were from Pueblo. and you shared with me recently that you moved around a little bit.
I did. I grew up military, so I have lived everywhere across the United States and abroad in Germany. Fantastic opportunities. I find myself to be very adaptable because I was always moving from here to there, and really great experiences. But I chose Pueblo to be my home, and I have been here since 1991. So
wow,
it's been a great experience.
So military, dad in
my dad
military?
was, yeah, he's a retired command sergeant major with the Army. So very well decorated, very educated. He's a big influence in my life.
Very nice. And obviously, military family, has so steeped in military roots and the upbringing. Thank you, thank him very much for his service. Love our military. So
thank you.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
very much.
that.
So now, living abroad, I do have to ask you, what's the most memorable place that you have lived?
I loved Germany. That's where I met, my longtime best friend. We met when I was 6, she was 7.
Wow.
I really enjoyed, visiting different places, going to Munich, doing Volksmarches, Stuttgart. We lived a lot of different places and got to experience the culture. And it was a great experience. I was younger, so obviously there wasn't any beer involved, but it was just really nice to be immersed in that culture and to really get to experience it firsthand. I would love to go back.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So now you say you also travel. So
Right.
what are some of your favorite destinations?
I went to Bali last year, and I felt like that was life-changing. It was just it came at a time in my life where I just needed some peace and some quiet. And I went all the way across the other side of the world to go and learn about their culture and experience firsthand, the ways that the Indonesian people, they really are amazing because they believe in karma so deeply that they can be sitting in a ton of traffic. They could have somebody cut them off, and it doesn't matter because it's not that big of a deal to them. They're just very calm, very Zen people, and I thought that that was the perfect place for me to go. So I got to, go to healing waters and, go experience, waterfalls that were, way deep in the mountains. But I also got to meet the people, do some shopping, eat some very amazing food, and it was a great experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bali.
Put it on your list. It's great.
It's on the list. Everyone, put Bali on your list. So now you've been in Pueblo since 1991.
Correct.
And obviously you've seen a lot of things change over time.
Right.
So what did you first get into when you moved to Pueblo?
I think it was a really tough time moving to Pueblo because I was an incoming freshman and I didn't know anybody. And, Pueblo is just one of those towns where, everybody is it's a small town. It's actually a bigger town, but it has a small town vibe. And so a lot of the people that I was going into high school with had known each other forever. And like any other school that I went to, it was, it was a matter of time before I found my way, kind of connected. But I'm so glad that I did because, I've raised my kids here. I've gotten to watch them go to high school with the same people, and have those long-lasting friendships. And then being a part of the community and being a business owner, then I get to, obviously lend a hand and support to not just the real estate community, but also to other business owners, to, people that are struggling. I do a lot of work through CASA of Pueblo, and children are a big passion of mine, helping abused and neglected kids. So it's been great to be able to, build my business up to a point where I can give back in such a big way.
Very nice. Now you mentioned you went to school. Where did you go to school?
So I went to Pueblo Centennial first,
Okay.
and then I went to the dark side and I graduated from Central.
All right.
Go Wildcats.
Yeah, there you go. So something very interesting, it seems, when people ask if you're from here, the first thing they ask, where'd you go to school?
Right.
And I learned that myself, where the big rivalry, the Cannon game, the Bell game, and things like that. I just think it's...
And we're such a football family. I mean, for
Right.
me to have that experience and to be able to go to the Bell games and then to watch my sons play in it, it gave me that missing piece that I didn't have growing up because I was constantly moving. And so Pueblo's home, and I'm happy to be here and to raise my kids.
Very nice. Now, you had mentioned that you do some things in the community with CASA, great organization.
Fantastic.
And you've been involved with them for quite a while.
This is my 7th year on the board of directors, and we've helped countless children. We're constantly doing fundraisers, and we're a working board, and I think that's what I'm so proud of the most, is the fact that we're not the kind of board that just sits around a table and makes decisions when it comes to finances and other big ticket items, but we get involved, we're constantly getting to know our volunteers, and we want to show them the utmost appreciation, because they really are the unsung heroes. They're the people that are on the front lines. They're the ones that get to know the children, get to advocate on their behalf, and give them a voice.
Right. Yeah. Now, you also do other things in the community.
I sit on the Pueblo Latino Chamber, which is, a great experience. It's such a grassroots organization. They started to help Latino business owners kind of find their way to get support, because it was really tough for them, and it's just evolved through the years, and to watch that is impressive. And obviously they have great leadership, and I'm happy to be a part of that, and kind of lend my skill set to helping to enhance the organization.
Very nice. Now, between the two organizations in Pueblo, which are a big part of the Pueblo community, what are some of the memorable things that you think about with being involved with the two?
I mean, I think every time we don't do a gala for CASA of Pueblo. We do one every 5 years. Okay. So, we will have our next gala here in 2026. But that's just a really beautiful thing to see an organization that is so fiscally responsible, that it's not about the glitz. It's about really giving back to the community and putting those dollars where they belong. But every 5 years, it's really nice to celebrate, the momentous things that they've done to grow, because there's so many nonprofit organizations that struggle.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then with the Latino Chamber, I mean, as you mentioned, they have great leadership, but they also have some amazing board members as well. So some of the things that you've done with the organization, what kind of sticks out in your mind?
With the Latino Chamber, I mean, I love, supporting the foundation, doing the tostadas, helping them with that. I mean, the two organizations, a lot of people don't know. So the foundation holds the 501c3 status, right? And they're here to support the Latino Chamber board. So it's like you've got two very impressive organizations that work together to achieve, their mission and vision, and to keep that at the forefront. And it's just really been, instrumental getting to know the board members and seeing what every single person, they bring something different.
Very nice.
You've got bankers, you've got, tax people, you've got, people who are in healthcare, senior representatives. There's some, it's so diverse. I think that's the great thing about it. It's like you have diversity within diversity.
Yeah. It's such a great both organizations are just amazing, and we're just so lucky to have them in the Pueblo community, and they're such an important part. So. And
they're constantly trying to show appreciation to the membership. They just wrapped up the Latina Leadership series, which is sponsored by MDX Real. And they've just jumped into the community. They created this Latina Leadership series so that they can spotlight, women within the community that are, really kind of, changing the perceptions and educating people on, how Latinos are really powerhouses. And I was really, happy to be a part of that.
Very nice. Very nice. So you've also gained a lot of recognition with a lot of the work that you do, and deeply rooted with these organizations. So thank you very much for what you do in the community.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So please share with all of us. Now, you are a real estate agent here in Pueblo.
Yes.
And real estate is, I mean, just such an important part of the community. So can you share with us a little bit about what got you started in real estate?
I think I have a degree in mass communications, and I really did not see myself working for a nonprofit. Real estate is something that I always had a passion for, and so I jumped in head first. I've worked in every market. I worked in the recession of 2008. I sharpened my skills. I made a deep commitment to expanding my education so that I could service more people. A lot of families who were, losing their homes to foreclosures. I worked on short sales to try and avoid that. I've helped people, rebuild, and I think that to have that kind of knowledge to lead people through tough times and to help them, get a fresh start. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. It's not always the big American dream of let's buy a house and then let's buy another house. Let's buy a bigger house. Let's get more. Sometimes it's about helping people, to get out of bad situations. And I really appreciate the fact that I had amazing mentors who taught me that very early on about being service oriented and to really, uphold fiduciary duties to take care of people and to pay it forward.
Right. Now, getting into the business back then, I mean, you've seen a lot of changes in the community and with the housing market and the different economies and things like that. So when you first got in, did you expect it to be what it is now?
No,
No.
no. But I mean, I tell people this all the time. I felt like I was very, naive. I thought I knew real estate, but you don't learn it until you actually get in. It's a lot of, on the job training and continuous education. And if you, and to be honest, there's a lot of competition. So if you're not dedicated to your craft, I just spoke at the Pueblo Association of Realtors. They had their new member orientation. And I was fortunate to go and speak to the new realtors and just kind of tell them, hey, you can be successful in this business, but it really does require a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, and a lot of sacrifice to do that. You needed to figure out what you're passionate about and then go specialize. Doctors specialize, and us real estate professionals, we do the same.
Very nice. Now, this is not a 40-hour a week.
Oh God, no.
Job. So, I mean, what is your average commitment in your time?
I tell people you can work any 80 hours a week that you want.
Okay.
Yeah, there's flexibility with your schedule, but it really is, it's continuous. People don't have the same schedules. Not everybody is 8 to 5. I've worked with, on-call ER doctors, and they can only take calls during certain hours. I've worked with correction officers who can't have their phones with them at all. And to try and get a real estate transaction done, it's like you have to be mindful of bending and accommodating other people's schedules. It's not really about yours. And so I think that that's the most laughable thing about people who want to get into real estate is that they think that it's going to be, very much suited to their lifestyle and to their schedule. And really, that's not the way it is. Not if you want to, help people and be there, for them.
Constantly conforming to.
You're constantly conforming, adapting, adjusting.
Right. So now, I mean, is there really true work-life balance with what you do?
I think it takes a while. Okay. I tell people this all the time because I didn't take a vacation for the first 6 years that I was in real estate because I was so committed to just, hitting it hard and building a foundation and I was loving it. And so when you're passionate about something, it really doesn't feel like work. So I didn't. And then once I did I started getting some burnout. And so there came a point in time, and I was raising 5 kids. So, to build a business, to have children, to have buyers and sellers that you're trying to please, sometimes the people pleasing gets to be a little bit too much and self-care can get neglected. So I did have to define some boundaries and, figure out how to separate the two, at least enough to where, I didn't feel like I was becoming resentful.
Okay. Super mom.
Super mom, okay. Right. It's like all things, equal, the kids have to come first. So, I started doing little things like, I would put their games into my schedule. It's an appointment. I have to go to, the baseball game. I have to go to the football game. I got to, cook dinners with the moms and do football dinners. I did 6 years of football dinners for Pueblo Central High School with the moms. Wow. And it was a really good time. But those are the kind of things that matter, and those are the things that you don't get back. So I've always made it a point to try and be there as much as possible. I wish I could say that I went to everything and did all things, but you can only do what you can do. And sometimes it's just a matter of, setting the intention and then following through with that. And so I tell people all the time, I don't really think it's more so about balance as it is counterbalance, because you have to counter, where you're uneven. Like when your life gets heavy in one direction, then you have to give to the other side.
Very nice. Now, you've also gained a lot of recognition in what you do in real estate as well. Can you share with everyone what Rookie of the Year means to you?
So I was Rookie of the Year in 2008, and that was really a big moment for me. I think it's probably, you know, the highlight of my career, because it's so hard to become established in this industry. But to have my mom and dad, you know, stand with me at the podium, and to receive that trophy, and to understand that people recognize that, you know, I was up and coming, and that I was a professional, that I took it seriously, and that I gave it everything I had. It was a big moment for me, and it really did propel my career. You know, I've done a lot of things since then, but I can say that that really had an impact on me.
The impact, and you've had milestones since.
Oh yeah.
Because Rookie of the Year is, well, it's very prestigious, and it's only given out once a year.
Right.
And to earn that very early in your career is just amazing.
It was a good feeling.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very amazing. So now, if someone is out there and they're watching this or listening, and they are kind of thinking about, well, you know, I'd like to get into real estate. You know, what's some of the best advice that you can give them?
Come talk to me. I'll tell you the truth. You know, I won't sugarcoat anything, but I really do want everybody to succeed. I mean, there's more than enough business to go around. And I think that, you know, some people forget that it's not really about competition. It's about collaboration. And that's how I feel about, you know, this industry. And I've made so many friends, and, you know, people that I've never done deals with. You know, I want them to see, you know, the best side of me. I want them to know that my intentions are pure, that I want, you know, that I work in the spirit of the golden rule, that, you know, it's not about your client, my client, and, you know, let's go at it. It's about, you know, how do we find a meeting of the minds and make it work, so that at the end of the day, everybody can walk away from a transaction and feel good about it.
Very nice. And there's a lot that goes into it, obviously,
Right.
from start to finish.
Right.
But your work's not done at the end,
No, it's not.
because you still have to maintain those relationships.
Of course. I think that that's probably the biggest reason why I felt like I was successful in building my business, was just because I understood that at a very, you know, early stage, was that it's not about, you know, transactions. It's about, you know, taking care of people and servicing them to where they want you to get the business from their friends and family, right? It's not about the transaction that's in front of you. It's everything that comes behind, you know? And so I spent a lot of time, you know, nurturing and cultivating those relationships, not just with, you know, my clients or potential clients, but also within the real estate community, so that we can all work together and be successful.
Yeah, very nice. Now, you've seen Pueblo change over the years.
Yes.
So what are some of the things, you know, what does the future hold for what you see in Pueblo?
I love all of the growth that's happening. I love the fact that, you know, you can walk on the streets of Pueblo, and people will still say hi to you. You know, it's a small town feel with big city, you know, amenities. And now we've got the boathouse that's going up. I love the Riverwalk because I lived in San Antonio, and it is absolutely like one of my favorite places that I've ever lived. And so to see that vision come to fruition, and then to just get improved upon, and it's beautiful, especially this time of year when Christmas lights are up and you're just, you know, you're having dinner, and you can just see it. And I think it's probably a bright spot in Pueblo. I also love the Pueblo Reservoir. I'm a water person, and so like the reservoir just reminds me of being in the coves of Mexico. But there's so many good things here, you know, for people to come and visit. And I think people forget, especially up north, you know, all of the attractions that we have here.
Right.
But at the same time, I also can tell by our sales prices that they're also taking notice.
Okay. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. So yeah, you bring to light that, you know, people up north, because I often refer to Pueblo as the capital of Southeast Colorado.
Oh, I like that.
Because everyone seems to gravitate towards Pueblo,
Right.
living in the smaller communities. But again, the housing prices, I mean, they're still very, very affordable here in Pueblo.
I think that people got wind throughout the state that Pueblo was a hidden gem. And I say that with so much pride because honestly, we didn't have a lot of appreciation. You know, there was years where it's like the sales prices were just flat, you know, and stagnant. So at some point in time, the dial has to move. And I think that that's a good thing for the citizens, you know, because with that comes growth and opportunity. And that's what the city has achieved.
Very nice. Now, ENRG. Tell me
Yes.
a little bit about. Tell me a little bit about. I guess, do you consider it a company, a brokerage? I mean,
It is a brokerage.
okay,
It's a national brokerage. So we
national.
just opened Hawaii. But what I was attracted to with Energy is the fact that they want to build a boutique, culture. And what that means is that, if you have any, if you have any real estate friends, you know that either they're with a brick and mortar company or a lot of the newer companies are cloud based, meaning that they don't have overhead. They don't, they don't pass that along to their agents.
I see.
Matter of fact, instead of, paying that money out towards, buildings and they take that revenue and they share it with their agents for growing the company.
Oh, wow.
So it's an opportunity on both sides. And the thing that I liked about Energy is the fact that they want to build a bridge between the two. So the thing that's kind of gotten lost is that culture, is that sense of community, and so we're trying to bring it back.
Okay. So that that kind of business model, is that very common in
It's
your
becoming
industry?
more and more. It's becoming more and more popular, and I think what happened is during COVID, people started working from home more and more. I mean, I used to be at my office all the time, and then when COVID happened, it's like we got used to working from home, and I think people just started pulling away from that because they realized it really didn't impact the way that they could service their clients.
I see. Okay. So ENRG, what does the future hold for Felicia? I mean,
I just love real estate. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm ever going to stop selling. It's just been so good to me. But I think the place that I'm at right now is that I really want to help other agents build what I've had. You know what I mean? What I've achieved. And I think to do that, agents are looking for a place that they can call home, a long-term home, that they can get the support that they need, that they can figure out, what direction they want to take their business, and have somebody there to help them move the dial.
okay, very nice. Now, you're very, as we mentioned, very involved in the community. I often see you, out in the community at events and things like that. So the easiest way for people to reach you is obviously through your phone, which is probably on 24/7, 365. There it is. So to reach Felicia, if you have questions on getting into the real estate business, if you're wanting to ask questions about buying, selling. Now, you said you specialize as well. Can you share with us a little bit on what you specialize in?
So I do mostly residential real estate, but I also do commercial, which has been, an advancement for me. So just learning that side of the business, I enjoy commercial real estate a lot, and I've learned so much. So for me, I'm a certified residential specialist, but I also, continue to get designations. I think that that's a big deal. I'm AI certified. We were talking about AI and how that impacts, and helps people to kind of, redefine, what their strategies are. I think it's a great tool for anything, to be honest. So I've done that, and then also moving into, obviously the brokerage position. This is just my elevation, my growth.
Okay. Now you mentioned it. I have to ask you,
Sure.
how's the AI affecting the industry?
I've seen it propel, and I've also seen it hinder. I think people need to use it to use it in a way that still keeps their personality and their authenticity. Instead of just throwing something in there and spitting it out. It's like take bits and pieces and make it your own. People still want to know that it's you speaking on the other side. When it comes to photographs, I mean, don't buy the cheap stuff. If you're going to do it, put out quality product. That's my belief with anything that you do. And I think AI is just a great way to really plan. I think it's great for strategies. I use it more for business planning than I do anything else. It's like, this is my thought. Help me to organize that. Help me to come up with a structure and a format to where I can do it and be as efficient as possible. That's what I think AI is really designed for, is for the efficiency factor.
Efficiency, using it as a tool to enhance.
To enhance, not to replicate, not to, you still want to have your own tone and voice. You still want people to resonate with you. And you can only do that if you show that part of your personality.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's one of the reasons why I elevate each other is we're not AI, we are real.
I love that.
So ways that you can reach out to Felicia, again, if you want to get into the industry, if you have questions, or if you're looking to buy, sell, first home, next home,
Oh, yeah.
upgrade, downgrade, you can reach out to her at 719-252-1252. That's her cell phone. And then you can also find her on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, social media. You will find Felicia, type in her name, and she will be able to take care of you 100%. Now, I also want to mention this is only possible through Anthony Burciaga. He is the Jedi Master, as I refer to him, of Everyday People Digital. So if you're looking for marketing strategies, have questions on AI, things like that, reach out to him. And then I also want to mention the sponsor of Elevate Each Other, which is the Freddie Martinez Agency. For all your insurance needs, give us a call at 719-717-3777, or you can type in Freddie Martinez Insurance Pueblo, and you will find me as well. So I do want to give a special thank you to Felicia for spending some time. I know your time is very valuable, and people need to catch you when they can. Reach out to you. You're always available.
Thank you. I try to be a resource for the community, so thank you for allowing me to be spotlighted here. And congratulations to you on your Small Business Award of the Year from the Latino Chamber.
Very much.
That is a tremendous honor, and Freddie does an amazing job. So connecting with the community and to bring like-minded people together, good job.
Thank you very much, Felicia.
Yeah,
thank you for spending time with us
I appreciate
today.
you.
Thank you so much. And until next time, please like, share, follow. You'll find us out on social media. Listen to us, watch us, and hopefully we gain more traction in the community. So until next time, thank you very much for joining.